justice, even with the enemy.
When Umar ibn Abdulaziz assumed the duties of the caliphate, a party from Samarkand came to him claiming that Qutayba ibn Muslim, the leader of the Muslim army, attacked them in a treacherous manner. Umar wrote to his governor over there, requesting him to appoint a judge to rule in the matter. He ordered that the Muslims should leave Samarkand should the judge rule in favor of its inhabitants. The judge, who was a Muslim, ruled that the Muslims should leave and that the leader of the Muslim army should then warn them of their attack, according to the principles of Islamic warfare, so that the inhabitants of Samarkand could make their preparation for fighting with the Muslims. When the inhabitants of Samarkand saw this unparalleled example of justice in history, they said that it is a nation that must not be fought, for their rule is a rule of mercy and kindness. And so they were pleased with allowing the Muslim army to remain. Have you ever heard of such an instance in history when an army conquered a city, when those who were defeated complained to the victorious nation, and when a judge from that victorious nation ruled that the army attacked in a way that was not lawful and that they had to leave that city? I know of no such instance or example from any nation throughout history.
He ran from the prayer.
A Bedouin prayed behind an imam who was reciting from the Quran.
Did we not destroy the first ones?
The Bedouin happened to be in the first row, and upon hearing that verse, he moved to a row that was further behind. Then the imam recited,
So shall we make later ones to follow them.
The Bedouin then moved to another row. Next, the imam recited this verse,
Thus we will deal with the mujrimun, meaning polytheists, disbelievers, sinners, etc.
The Bedouin, whose name happened to be Mujrim, ran away from the congregation, saying, By Allah, I am his target. When some other Bedouins met him, they said, What is the matter, O Mujrim? He said, Indeed, the Imam destroyed the first ones and then the last ones, and he wanted to destroy me as well. By Allah, I do not want to see him after this day.
Political acumen.
It was said to a ruler, What has made you reach this level? He said, I forgave when I was able to exact revenge. I was soft even when I was severe. I was just even regarding my own self, and I left enough place in my love and hate so that I could still easily change from one to the other.
He deserved a large endowment.
During the days of Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, a group of Arabs came to his court but were afraid to speak to him. Among them was a young man named Dirwas ibn Habib, who was only 16 years of age at the time. Hisham spotted him among the group and said to his guard, Now, anyone who wishes to enter and meet me may do so, even young children. Dirwas jumped forward and said, O leader of the believers, we have been afflicted with 3 hard years. In the first, our fat melted away. The second year ate away our flesh. And the third affected our bones. In your hands you have surplus money. If that surplus is for Allah, then divide it among his slaves. And if it belongs to them, then why do you prevent that wealth from them? And if it is yours, then give it in charity to them. For indeed, Allah rewards those who give charity. Hisham said, In each of the 3 scenarios, the young man left no excuse for me. He ordered for the group to be given 100,000 dinars, and for that young man to be given 100,000 dirhams.
Choosing a husband.
A man asked Hassan ibn Ali, radiyallahu anhu, I have a daughter, and people have proposed to her. So to whom should I marry her? He said, marry her to one who fears Allah. For if he loves her, he will honor her. And if he hates her, he will not wrong her.
A Bedouin at the dinner table of Al-Hajjaj.
A Bedouin attended a banquet that was held by Al-Hajjaj. When the sweets were served, Al-Hajjaj let the Bedouin eat a bite and then announced, whoever eats this, I will cut his throat. Everyone who was present refrained from eating. The Bedouin, however, alternated between looking at the sweets and between looking at Al-Hajjaj. This continued for a while until he finally said, O leader of the believers, I kindly ask you to do well by my children. And then he quickly attacked the sweets.
Our pious predecessors and their dutifulness to their parents.
Muhammad ibn Sirin related that the price of a date palm tree was as high as 1,000 dirhams during the period of Uthman ibn Affan, radiyallahu anhu. Once during that period, Usama went to a date palm tree that belonged to him, pierced it, and took out its palm pit. Then he went and gave it to his mother to eat. People said to him, what made you do this when you know that the price of a date palm tree has reached 1,000 dirhams? He said, my mother asked me for it, meaning from the palm pit, and she has never asked me for anything that I was able to give to her, except that I gave it to her.
He had to choose between his wife and money.
In Kufa, there was a woman whose husband was very poor. She said to him, travel in the lands and seek from Allah's bounty, and perhaps you will be given provision. He went to Sham and earned 300 dirhams, with which he bought a beautiful camel. He mounted it, intending to return to Kufa. However, he was dismayed to learn that the camel was wild and disobedient, and at one point he became so angry at it that he hastily made a bad oath. He said that he would divorce his wife unless he sold the camel for 1 dirham the day he returned to Kufa. When he finally returned home, he greatly regretted what he did, and he became miserable because of his hasty action. His wife asked him what happened, and at first he denied that anything had occurred. But finally, in a fit of desperation, he told her the whole story, and that he had to choose between the camel that was worth 300 dirhams and between her, because if he was to keep his wife, he would have to sell the camel for only 1 dirham. She said, I will find a way out of this for you, so that you neither break your oath nor lose anything. She picked up a cat and hung it around the neck of the camel with a rope, and she said, go to the marketplace and say, this cat is for 300 dirhams, and the camel is for 1 dirham only, and I will not sell them separately. When he went to the marketplace, a Bedouin was walking around the camel saying, how healthy it is, how beautiful it is, how noble it looks, were it not for this partner that is on its neck.
The best of women.
A Bedouin was asked about women, and being a man who was experienced with them, he said, the best woman is the tallest when she stands, the most prominent when she sits, and the most truthful when she speaks. She is the one whose anger subsides quickly and whose laugh is a beautiful smile. When she does anything, she does it well. She obeys her husband and adheres to her home. She is honored among her people, yet insignificant in her own mind, affectionate and fertile, and all of her affair is good.
I was hoping to find something else.
The ruler of Germany once visited Turkey. A member of the Turkish Congress wanted to show the German leader how civilized they had become. He prepared a group of schoolgirls to welcome him, and he dressed them up in a gaudy manner, and each one of them was to give him a bouquet of roses. The German ruler was shocked to see the dress of the young girls, and he said to those in charge, "Indeed, I was hoping to see the hijab and modest dress in Turkey, which is in accordance to the ruling of your Islamic religion. And here I am witnessing lewd dress, which we are afflicted with in Europe, and which is leading us to the loss of family, to the destruction of societies, and to the ruin of children."